Welcome to Church Boy Talks. Hey, what? Anyway, guys, glad to have you guys on another amazing episode of Church Boy Talks. Trust you guys are doing well. Trust you're fine. Welcome. Okay, so straight to the point. So today we'll be talking about those little things that people do, right? That are just as bad as other things that people do, but they may not see it as bad. They may just think it's just a normal way of life. So we call those things little foxes, right? So those little foxes that have the potential to spoil our reputation and to influence our lives negatively as a whole, and how we can handle them. So with that being said, let's jump right into today's episode. Okay guys, so little foxes. So like I said, you find out that people that, they feel like they are not into prostitution, internet fraud, political thievery and corruption, they tend to give themselves more grace. They tend to feel like they are better than other people. But the truth is, are you really sure you are better than other people? Because there's this thing we usually say, that sin is sin, that no sin is bigger than the other sin. The only thing I would say is some sins, yes, have the tendency to have more consequences when dealing with people. For example, now somebody that's a politician that is stealing public funds, the consequences that the people that he's supposed to use those funds to impact their lives, the consequences that they would face, you won't compare it with somebody that's just telling lies in that sense. So in terms of consequences, sins are not the same, in my own opinion. That's consequences in the physical, in the human nature, in the earth. So but when it comes to consequences in terms of eternity, all sins are equal. Or in the ability to separate you from God, all sins are equal. But in terms of physical consequences, some sins tend to have more effects on the earth. But in that sense, we're going to be looking at it from the eternal perspective. So that's what we'll be talking about, the little foxes. Little foxes, things that people do that they don't think is wrong, but really it just makes you in the same category as the person that is into stealing, or the person that is into whatever it is. So number one is complaining. Yes, you heard me correctly. Murmuring and complaining. A lot of people don't know that God doesn't like complainers and murmurers, right? In fact, if you read the story of the children of Israel when they were leaving, or when they left Egypt, what was the major issue that God had with them? It was because they were complaining and they were murmuring. And so they are, God, you brought us out of Egypt. There's no water. There's no food. Okay, God gave them food. They say there's no meat. They want meat. God gave them meat. They complained that Moses is doing this. You get, so it was just one complaint to the other, and that got God angry to the point that God was even thinking of wiping them off. Like God was thinking of starting afresh. You get. So that's one of the little foxes that people don't know about. Complaining and murmuring. And personally, it's also something I'm also learning to not do, because it almost feels natural to complain. It almost feels natural to murmur. But the thing is, what complaining does is it's a sign of ingratitude. That's the way I see it. When you complain, you are basically telling God that all the things that you've done for me does not matter, and I don't think you can even help me in this situation. In that sense, that's what complaining does. Complaining shows ingratitude. Complaining shows that you are not grateful, you are not thankful for where you are today. The Bible says we should not worry about anything, but we should pray about everything. Complaining and murmuring is not something that we should fill our lives with. We should always approach life from the place of gratitude. And I know for us, especially in Nigeria, it's almost impossible, or it seems like it's impossible for us not to complain, because really, fuel price went from 100 and something naira to over 1,000 naira just within just 1 year. Like, that's insane. That's 1,000% increase in just 1 year. Like, that is just crazy. And we feel like we have the right to complain. But the thing is, if we're to truly look at it, somehow we are still surviving. That's one thing to be grateful to God for. By the way, I'm not trying to say God is the one that put us in this mess, please. I know some people say God is the one that God is the one that is allowing everything to happen. That's not, I don't agree with that. That's not true, in my opinion. But anyway, that's by the way. So we're talking about complaining. Let's focus on that. So it almost feels impossible to not complain in the current situation of the world, in the current economic time. But guys, if we're truly going to live life the way God wants us to live it, we would avoid complaining. Rather, we would be grateful for the little we have. We would be grateful for the fact that we are not paying for oxygen. We will be grateful for the fact that we are healthy, and that despite everything, we are still able to eat at least in a day. Now, this does not mean you will be ignorant or you would act like the problems don't exist, but it's just like you are choosing to be grateful regardless of what is happening. You are choosing to stay thankful regardless of what is happening. You choose to focus on the goodness of God. And really, that's how life works. What you focus on amplifies. So if you focus on God's goodness, if you focus on the fact that God that provided for you yesterday will provide for you today, you find out that despite the things that are happening in this world, people are still buying their cars, people are still building houses, people are still becoming millionaires, people are still becoming billionaires. Yes, even in these times like this. And so don't focus on complaining. Don't focus on complaining. Don't do your best to not complain. Do your best to not murmur. But stay grateful. Trust me, it won't be long. Your life would take a turn for it. When you choose to see the positives, and when you choose to, be grateful, and when you choose to celebrate with others, because complaining too sometimes is somebody else's success too that can make some people complain. So this person got married, but you are finer than the person. Like, physically you are more attractive than the person. In fact, physically you are more handsome, you are prettier, you maybe even have more money than the person, but somehow the person got married, and then you are tempted to complain that God, what is happening? Or you graduated at the same time with your friend, but suddenly that your friend got a big job, or he has jackpot, he has escaped, or he's now abroad, or she's now abroad, or they are now they now own their own company, and then you are tempted to complain that why is it that this person's life just seems to be going smoothly and then yours is not going smoothly. Guys, it's not about who starts first. It's not about who starts first, because there are a lot of people who seem like they were ahead in life, but today it's it might be a different story. And it doesn't necessarily mean that you will be praying for them to fall. You get, there's enough room in the sky for everybody to be on top. There's enough room for everybody to be on top. If you find out that you're in that situation, celebrate with the person. Be genuinely happy for the person. Intentionally make yourself happy for the person, and then thank God for where you are, and then still keep working on yourself to go higher. If possible, ask for that person. If possible, ask for advice. Try and find out what that person did. I'm not saying you should go and copy the person, but you can learn from their own success stories too. Just do your part and leave the rest to God, and stay grateful. Don't complain. Don't complain. Don't murmur. So this is one of the little fox. Okay, so my husband did not buy that wig for me, but Nkechi's husband bought, Brazilian hair for her. My dad did not buy me the new iPhone, but this person's dad, this person's boyfriend always takes her out on a date every week, but my own boyfriend does not. You see, there's always a lot to complain about. It's just about your perspective. Choose to focus on what is working, and then even when the things that are not working, it seems like it wants to overwhelm you, you intentionally choose to stay grateful and not complain. Trust me, you attract God's goodness, you attract God's presence, you attract God's favor. Trust me, God will be very pleased with you when you live a life of gratitude and not of complaining. So that's the little fox number one. Second little fox is lying. Lying. Some people have even coined the term out of lying. They now call it white lies. That is necessary lies that don't really mean anything. You can just say it and get away with it. There's something that people used to say, that if you tell us the truth, who will beat you? Like, you're an adult, who will beat you? And then the thing is, some of us tell lies and you wonder why people don't trust you. Maybe people are not stupid though. People are not stupid. Forget they might act like, okay, they are not seeing what is happening. But people are not stupid. You can't be my friend and then you are telling me about how you lied to your boyfriend and you think I'm going to trust you 100%. Or you're telling me about how you lied to your boss. Or you're telling me about how you lied to our other mutual friend. And then you think I will now believe what you said totally. You understand? Or I'm your friend in school and I was there when you told your dad the school fees is higher, like you gave a higher figure as the school fees, whereas the school fees was lower than that, and then you think I'll not trust you totally. You understand? Because I've seen that you can lie, and if you can lie to them, you can lie to me. It's only a matter of time. You get? So, but people don't see lies as anything again. You get? You are going out with your friends, or you are supposed to meet your friends somewhere. They call you, say, where are you? Say, I'm about to enter a vehicle. You have not even had your baths. Like, you are still on your bed. You've not even brushed your teeth. You do that, I'm on my way. I wonder when they built road inside your room. You're on your way, but you're lying down on your bed. Is there a secret road? Is there a secret tunnel from your room to the location? You get? These are just things that we've considered as normal. You understand? These are just things we consider as normal, and it's not supposed to be so. These are the little foxes that can ruin your relationship, that can ruin your life as a whole. Imagine just how a small lie can make you lose credibility in the eyes of somebody. And one thing with all these little foxes, especially lying, is it can crumble trust that you have built over time. You understand? Because if I'm somebody that holds you in high regard, you understand, and I trust you very much, and then one day I just discovered that you lied to me, I might now start questioning all the things you've told me. And I'll be like, okay, does it mean that this person has been lying to me all this while? So it might now start making me feel like, okay, are you sure this person has been sincere to me all this while? So guys, lying is very bad. Nobody's going to beat you. Just say the truth. If you know you cannot say the truth, just keep quiet. Evade the question instead. You understand? Let's stop telling lies, guys. Let's stop telling lies. We are all adults. We should not be lying over certain things. You understand? You should not be lying over anything at all. You get? So that's little fox number 2, lies. So number 1, complaining. Number 2, lying. I'm sure there are others, right? There are a whole lot out there. So feel free to drop in the comment section the other little foxes that you think people don't really consider as a big deal, but really they are big deals in that sense. So with that being said, we've come to the end of today's episode. So I hope you guys learned a couple of things or two, or you were reminded of one or two things. And so don't forget to share in the comment section, those little foxes that you think a lot of people ignore, but they are as dangerous as the big foxes in quotes. Thank you so much, guys, for listening to today's episode. Until I come your way next time, stay safe, stay blessed. This is Church Boy Talks with Patrick.